I actually was born right here in this house next door. Well, I wasn't born in the house, but my mother lived there when I was born. And then I went to preschool right down here on Wimbledon. And I went to 111 for kindergarten. And eventually I got out of that one and we moved to Compton. And then we moved back when I started going to Markham. And so from Markham all the way through high school to now, I was back in Watts, but I was born and raised in Watts, and my mother left to Compton, moved with my other brother's father, then we moved right back. And you know, I just been ever since, because my grandmother always lived there, so I always been from this neighborhood. Grandmama and them and mama and them say, don't go take your ass in them projects. But you know, I was one of them hard-headed kids. I didn't have no daddy, so I had uncles and shit, but I wanted to see what was going on, why they was telling me don't go. And a lot of my friends from school lived in the projects.
And since you live so damn close, there's no way you weren't gonna go in there, right?
Exactly. Them was my friends. We went to school, we played football together and all that at the parks, 109th Park. I played a couple of times at the, you know, they had little leagues in the projects. So, you know, them was our friends. That's what you had to go. You had to go, people went over people's house back there.
Why were they telling you to stay out the project? What did they know already?
Well, you know, I had uncles and all that, so they already know it was a bunch of smoking drugs, selling dope, and killing in the projects. And back then, it wasn't really crack cocaine. It was, they was taking pills and smoking sherm and things like that. Well, I actually was going to 111th Street School, so when I was going to 111th Street School, I was already going in the projects and knew like all the big name dope dealers and the big gangbangers like the homie Loaf Dog, Renzi. These was all lot boys. These was like 2 or 3 years older than us. Then you had Ray Boys and all them that was way older than us, and we had Big Donnie and all them back then.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see Donnie. He's still around there.
Yeah, Donnie's still around there.
Okay. All right, so at some point, I guess you get put on or decide to become a full-fledged member of the Bounty Hunters.
Well, you don't even really get in it like that. That's a fucking myth. You really grow into it, because these are all my friends, and you know, once one of your buddies or something get killed, that's what happened. When our friends got killed, and then, you know, the word got out that these niggas did it, even though it was one person, it was all your whole hood. Fuck all y'all. And that's when the war started. Then you go kill a few, and then they come back and kill a few, and the war's on, and it never stops, because somebody always getting killed. The tension really got high. Let me see. When my boy Lil J got killed right here on this corner, man, that had to be 82, 83. Something like that. That's when it, you know, before that we had TC got killed. That probably was about in 80, and that was OG Lot Boy Norm Dog brother, you know, and the Crips poster did that, but when they came and killed Lil J, that's when the AKs and everything came into play. That's when niggas started having dope and money and guns, and that's when banging really started coming to just straight killing.
Didn't Ray Boys die around 1980 also?
Yeah. Ray Boys too.
And back then, was it basically just the Carvers and the Grape Streets that the tension was with most?
Yeah, them was our ride was them, and then the PJs too, but it wasn't, you know, really no big beats. It was just like the older cats. See, back in the day, they used to be at the parades, and they all went to school together, so them was the OGs that came before us that started the band. And then it just eventually trickled down to us.
Did you go to Centennial?
Yeah, I went to, because you know back then, that's when banging was at an all-time house, so we couldn't go to Jordan no more. The homies right before us, like Donnie and them, they made it through, but now there was killing going on. Wasn't no more making it through. So I eventually, first I tried Washington. That didn't work. You know, it was all Crips up there too. Then I went to Dorsey. That didn't work. So then I ended up going to Centennial. And shit, that didn't work either, because I eventually just dropped out and started selling dope like everybody else.
And why did you go to these schools? Like, Centennial's closer than Dorsey.
Yeah.
Why would you try a school so far away?
Because you didn't want to go to a Crip school, so you know you're going to get your ass whooped. By then, you was already marked. If you grew up in that neighborhood, niggas already knew you was a blood from that neighborhood or you was a Crip from that neighborhood. So if you went to another neighborhood, you was already recognized, and if you wasn't, they going to ask you, where you from? As soon as you tell them, they going to automatically know what you is. So either you going to rep your shit, or you going to go somewhere else where you ain't into that shit.
when OFTB really started making a name for itself, it was 3 guys. You,
It was 4.
Well, 4 in the beginning.
Yeah.
But in that video, it was only.
Yeah, it was only 3. Eventually, when we got signed, there was only 3.
And
yeah.
that's you, Flip, and Buster.
Yeah, Bus Stop.
And Bus Stop. And Flip got killed. Let's talk a little bit about what happened to Flip and how that whole thing affected you. And when did that happen?
Yeah, that happened in 2013, man. Actually, right here in this yard where it happened. So you know, me and Flip, we lived next door and had a studio next door in the other house over there. So we were still working on projects. We dropped our last project was called Hostile Environment. We also dropped that too. So we were still working on shit and you know putting things in place, fucking with you know the local talent. Then we was doing things with Southland. And you know, we were still doing our thing in the music industry. Me and Flip was. Bus Stop had already left the group too, and he went to school and became a doctor, a psychiatrist. So you know, much props to him. But yeah, me and Flip still kept things going. But yeah, just that one night, the niggas came through here and shot my boy down, man. And that was some real fucked up shit. Cause you know, we don't fuck with nobody, and we usually ready for shit like this. But you know, it goes back now, I know, from the wisdom I got, that, you know, it's God called on all that. But, you know, I still was mad at the motherfucker, because that shit right there keeps gang banging going and all that. Because the motherfuckers hollered out Gray Street. I was sitting right over there in the house, too. But we had shit everywhere, but it ain't right by us, because we don't need it right now. But I guess we did, so by the time we got out there, the nigga was gone, bam, Flip then got shot. And the police came, they came and knocked on the door because, you know, the captain and all them motherfuckers know us. So the nigga told me, Lo, you in there? I said, he said, we caught them motherfuckers, man, don't go nowhere. So once he said that, that kind of like, you know, stopped my adrenaline from getting that motherfucking thing and going back, killing some more family members up or somebody else shit. You know, so by the grace of God, I'm glad he did knock on that door and tell me that shit.
Because Flip was, he was well loved around here.
Yeah, man, Flip had so much good shit going on, man. You know, it's still a mystery on how that shit went down. But yeah, we was giving niggas job, man. Him, Bone, doing the whole Southland thing. We had the whole hood, man. Niggas like 150 people signed up, getting $100 a day just to sit down and watch celebrities and help out on the movies and all that. Then, you know, we was doing shows, we was giving out Easter baskets, and, you know, me and Flip, you know, we believe in Jesus Christ, so we was at church every Sunday. You know, we was doing our thing, raising our families. You know, Flip was doing his thing, man. We was doing our thing. It's just unfortunate that the lifestyle that we live in, gang banging, this shit always can seem to bite you in your ass if you don't get away from it. And since we always be grounded in the hood, we ain't never left the hood. Even though we got money, we done moved away and came back, but we eventually still come back to where our people at.
Now, you just mentioned Namdi. Let's briefly talk about who this man is, what he means to you, what he means to L.A., because I might want to interview him one day.
Yeah, man, Namdi, man, is the father of Watts, man. Before we was even doing this shit, before we was even in the music, before we was even in the gang banging and all this, he was one of the forefathers when it all started back when all the triple OGs was gang banging. Namdi was one of the persons that they went to for advice because they knew he had a lot of wisdom. But he also started rap music too, because they had the first album out called Rapping Black in the white world. And that was way back before rap album was even out. It actually says that on the record, Rapping Black in the white world. And so how I met Namdi is we had sampled him on our Straight Up Watts album. And he did the same thing. This house is a legend. This house been here for years. So he found out the address and came over here with the CD and said, where these niggas at?
So he came looking for y'all.
Yeah.
That part.
So he came looking for us, man, and we met and we've been friends ever since, man. And he's been teaching me a lot of shit and taught me, you know, gave me the history on what they was doing and, you know, gave me all his albums and, you know, we done did a few records together. So, you know, Namdi is really in the heart of it, and anything that you wanted to know about gang banging before it got to us, he had the history, he had it in his head. He could tell you from Tookie to Raymond Washington to everything that happened from the Slausons to all the way back to when gang banging first started from the Black Panthers. Namdi knew it.
Thanks for watching StreetGangs.com. Please like and share the video you just watched and leave a comment below to tell us what you think.
You can also watch 2 of our previous episodes to the right. Please visit the link to our Patreon page and support our campaign. And don't forget to subscribe.